Hey nerds, Gleemax here, and today we're looking at the best commanders that are the creature type Demon. Known for being big, flying, and paying life for effects, Magic's demons are great in Commander. Remember to like the video if you liked it, subscribe for future videos, and comment with which creature type you'd like to see next. Let's begin. Right off the bat, I'm going to mention Griselbrand. He is banned in Commander, and for 8 mana, that's 4, and 4 black mana, you get a flying life-linking demon that's a 7/7 with pay 7 life to draw 7 cards. It's not hard to see why this is banned in Commander. This thing can draw a ridiculous amount of cards, 3 hit someone with Commander damage, and is in a color that can ramp him up pretty quickly. If he was legal in Commander, he'd be in my number 1 spot without a doubt, but as he's not legal to play, he just gets an honorable mention. We're going to start the list with Malfegor. 2 black, red, you get a demon dragon that's a 6/6, and when Malfegor enters the battlefield, you discard your hand, and each opponent sacrifices a creature for each card you discarded this way. That enter the battlefield trigger is no joke. With a full grip of 7, this is essentially a board wipe staple to a 6/6 for 6. We really need to take advantage of the discard aspect of Malfegor. The new Bone Miser is amazing for this, netting us multiple cards, a few creatures, and additional mana. Surly Badgersaur is similar to Bone Miser and is frankly hilarious. Archfiend of Ifnir is great as well. Anything not killed by Malfegor coming down will be swept up by the -1/-1. Terragrid is just insane by herself, but comboing her ability with Malfegor means you can steal between 1 and 7 creatures per opponent. Of course, we run a reanimation package of Animate Dead, Dread Return, and Rise of the Dark Realms effects, both to reanimate our own creatures as well as our opponents. Malfegor makes for a fun Rakdos build focusing on big turns and synergies. It is a number 5. Coming in at number 4 is the Demon Kraken Gyruda, Doom of the Depths, a 6/6 for 4 hybrid Dimir. This Demon Kraken can be a companion if your starting deck contains only cards with even converted mana cost. That does not matter if you're making it your commander though. And when Gyruda enters the battlefield, each player mills the top 4 cards of the library, and you put a creature card with an even converted mana cost from among those cards onto the battlefield under your control. This Demon Kraken is going to be playing our opponent's decks, which means we're on Clone Tribal. Clone, Stunt Double, Vizier of Many Faces, Evil Twin, and the stupidly good Sakashima the Imposter. These let us copy our opponent's creatures, or creatures we have stolen with Gyruda's Enter the Battlefield trigger. As the trigger is so important, we have to run a number of ways to get more triggers as well. Strionic Resonator can easily copy it. Panharmonicon is amazing for Gyruda triggers and triggers whatever creatures we are stealing from the opponent. Blade of Selves grants Myriad, letting token copies enter the battlefield and dying immediately because Gyruda is legendary. And of course, we run Conjurer's Closet and Thassa Deep Dwelling to blink Gyruda at the end of turn. No joke, I forgot this card was a demon before researching this list. I'm not sure why it's a demon and not a Kraken, Horror, or Nightmare, but it's the only blue and black demon right now and is a solid number 4. In the middle of the pack, we have Rakdos, Lord of Riots. For black, red, we get a 6/6 legendary demon with you can't cast Rakdos unless an opponent lost life this turn. He has Flying and Trample, as well as creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each 1 life your opponents have lost this turn. Rakdos is a very powerful commander. We start out with a bunch of pingers, Spear Spewer, Thermo Alchemist, Lobber Crew, and Nettle Drone. These all hit opponents for 1 damage each, and assuming we're playing in a 4-player pod, we'll discount all of your creature spells by 3 when Rakdos is out. Heartless Hidetsugu is the best version of this effect, discounting creatures to either colored mana or entirely free. What do we do with this huge discount in mana? Eldrazi Demons. From Void Winnower to It That Betrays to Ulamog and Kozilek, if you can deal enough damage to your opponents in a single turn, these can become free. Demons will usually end up costing very little mana. Runescarred Demon is a great tutor on a flying 6/6 body, with Burning Rune Demon having a similar effect. I think one of the best ones is Orcus. With the X in its mana cost, you can reanimate a lot of creatures with his second ability or wipe the board with his first. Rakdos is one of the best demon commanders. It's powerful with a wide variety of deck building options, all while using cards that you normally don't see play. It's a solid number 3. The runner-up is going to be Jetmir Nexus of Revels, a 5/4 cat demon for 1 red, green, and white. If you control 3 or more creatures, your creatures get +1/+0 in Vigilance. They get an additional +1/+0 and Trample if you have 6 creatures, and an additional +1/+0 and Double Strike if you control 9 or more creatures. Jetmir wants friends, a lot of friends. We start the game by making as many creatures as possible, things like Scute Swarm, both Krankos, Adeline Resplendent, Cathar, Dragon Fodder. We need to get as many creatures on the board for when Jetmir shows up, because when he does, we can start swinging. We also run Parallel Lives, Doubling Season, and Anointed Procession to double up on our token making. We can modify which tokens we make with cards like Divine Visitation or Ginny Fae, Jetmir's second. These let us make better tokens than just 1/1 goblins or soldiers. We then try to make our tokens huge. Things like Beastmaster's Ascension, Cathar's Crusade, and Mirror Entity can quickly get out of hand. Closing the game is typically done through combat, but Impact Tremors and Perforos give us some much needed reach. Remember to always keep some board protection up because Wraths can really hurt a token deck. A well-timed Rootborn Defenses or a Chroma's Will can snag you a win. Jetmir isn't really a demon-y commander. In fact, he is probably the least demon-looking commander in this entire list, but power level can't be argued, and he's a fantastic number 2. And the number 1 pick for the best demon commander is Lord Xander the Collector, a 6/6 vampire demon noble for 4 blue, red, black. When Lord Xander enters the battlefield, target opponent discards half their cards in their hand, rounded down. When he attacks, defending player mills half their library, rounded down. And when he dies, target opponent sacrifices half their non-land permanents, of course, rounded down. Yes, I know, another new Capenna commander, but come on, he's nuts. All we want to do is trigger his effects as many times as possible. As such, we run a suite of blink effects, Essence Flock, Ghostly Flicker, and clone effects like Cackling Counterpart, Rite of Replication, Clever Impersonator, and Phantasmal Image. Of course, these will die when they enter the battlefield, but we will get both his enter the battlefield trigger as well as his death triggers. The attack trigger is how we're going to be winning a lot of games. That is through mill. Helm of the Host will be the best card in the deck, giving you 3 Xander enter the battlefield triggers, 3 attack triggers, and maybe even 3 death triggers. It's absolutely insane. Pair all of this mill with Bruvak the Grandiloquent or Fraying Sanity, and each opponent will mill out their entire deck. Lord Xander the Collector is the best demon commander bar none, with incredibly powerful abilities that each lead to different playstyles and can be focused on during the deck building process, while also being in a color combination that gives you access to some of the best interaction in the game. Lord Xander is easily the best demon commander. Alright nerds, that's it for today. This was a very fun list. Demons offer a large range of playstyles and a huge variety of different deck archetypes. Let me know what you think of the list down in the comments. Remember to like the video if you liked it and subscribe for additional content. Thanks nerds.